please don't look at me in my face. Everybody might see my pain. Off the rail, might myself. Boy, with life has a...
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a very good defense. The Jets are the least scored on team in the league, and they'll be up against the Seahawks offense that will need to rise to the occasion. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come in riding high. Just one loss in their... The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations. 3
yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The third Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house.
On second down, here's Wilson. Room here to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. First down, this is Rawls. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Second down following the run. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
On third down, Wilson. And avoids the contact by sliding. The Seahawks send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. And to give this time to the tailback. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
False start, offense.
drawing the penalty. It's Rawls. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there. And he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. An update now from Oakland. The Broncos out to an early lead against the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo, over 100 yards passing already in the first quarter. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's a 3-point game here early, and we will return to MetLife Stadium after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. And they've got it here with a first down.
Let's go! Green 39!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. As they run the counter play. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
I'd have to say that was a pretty darn good run right there. They had 8 in the box, still able to burn them. They've got to consider themselves lucky they only give up a first down and not a touchdown.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to strike for 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Travis Coons now to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now Wilson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Coons on to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And now running right through it. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On 2nd down, rolls. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. They've been faced with a tough test today here. Crowd's been really good. They're struggling. He's struggling. We'll see if they can pick things up.
And the crowd has had an impact, and they feel good about that because he's not playing very well. Not getting the ball to the right places, not doing things he normally does. He's got to find a way to turn it around against this hostile group.
Yeah, because on the road, don't you look to your quarterback a lot?
You have to, because you certainly can't look to the crowd to help you. They're there to be against you, so your quarterback has to lead you. And the best way he can do it is to play well.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it, but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried. Just couldn't come.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Third and 2, now Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for 4. It's second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Wilson will throw again. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And this one is right through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They run the counter now on first down. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Call it a gain of a yard as it brings us to the end of the first half. So we've hit halftime. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. This is fielded at the 7. And some room to work. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the Jets set to take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. And the offense needs 7 out of this play on 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
They'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. Now it's Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the 3rd and then carry that over to the 4th.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
Back to the ground on 1st. Again, it's Rawls. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And able to find Graham, complete. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They'll run with D'Angelo Henderson. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Another run, but this time it's Rawls. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Final minute now of the third quarter. They go again with Rawls. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Wilson. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. So now it's 1st and goal. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brand is all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
You're looking at the scoreboard clock. We're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. To throw on 2nd down, Wilson. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On 1st down, Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. He's back to throw. And some room to maneuver. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Back to throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And his kick here is good. On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Samaje Perine inching up toward a possible 100-yard day in that one. set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in the tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you. Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Fresh set of downs here. As they run the counter play, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They're going to look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Pernell McPhee. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So now it comes down to Travis Coons. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. They're all through now, by the way, in Santa Clara. And the Giants, they wind up winning that one. Paul Perkins, 2 touchdowns on the ground to help lead the way. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Jets defense, we watch them get set to go now. And a field goal surrendered the last time out. Just by and large, are field goals wins for the defensive side?
They certainly are in today's football because offenses are so tuned up and usually have the ability to strike almost at will that when you're only giving up 3, you feel like it's almost like basketball. You're trading, right? I give up 3 on my end. I'm counting my offense to get 6 on the other, and that is a win.
Yeah, it's a win for the kicker, too, I guess, if he makes the field goal, right?
No doubt about it. He feels good about things, but his team feels like they settled.
They start on the ground with Rawls. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing...
Oh, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
And New York set to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
Let's go. 3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Thomas Rawls getting ready to go here on offense. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can. But if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Three yards to go on 2nd down. Two minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. Counter play, rolls, and not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They run with a power back. Rawls. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got room. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great